What's going on, everyone? So there were a lot of questions about Giannis, right? He was putting a lot of pressure on the Milwaukee Bucks, and it made sense, right? They were lackluster last season. Giannis, of course, was hurt, and I do believe if Giannis was healthy, that they would have at least made it out of the first round. But they won their one NBA championship, and since then, they have been disappointed, right? And Giannis has been disappointed. And he's tried to justify it and talk and, try to paint it as like it's not that big of a deal, but he wants to win. He's hungry to win. And so they go and they re-sign Middleton, they re-sign Brook Lopez, and basically keep the same team intact. And Giannis is looking around going I'm struggling to win one NBA championship with this roster. And since then, we have just fallen off a cliff. Everyone's getting older, and Brook Lopez, Drew Holiday, guys like that. I need to win. He said himself, I don't want to be with an organization for 20 years and only win one NBA championship. And so Milwaukee was under a lot of pressure. And last time we saw them under just small pressure from Giannis, boom, they go get Drew Holiday. Now they go get Damian Lillard. And the idea is okay, Dame can win an NBA championship with Giannis. They finally got that go-to scorer, that guy that could take pressure off of Giannis, that guy that could take pressure off of Chris Middleton, right? And now they have a more, you would imagine, a better opportunity playoff time. I do think they take a little step back during the regular season, but come playoff time, you got that guy in Damian Lillard who, not afraid of the moment, has hit big shots. It's hit some of the biggest shots we've ever seen. And now you have that go-to closer to where Giannis doesn't have to feel like, I don't want to get fouled. I don't want to do it. You saw him in panic mode against Miami last season, right? I don't think you'll have that worry. Now, there are questions about the defense, right? You're putting a lot of pressure on Giannis and Brook Lopez, especially if they're starting Malik Beasley and Damian Lillard. Right now, it's one thing when you have a guy like Drew Holiday, who's a point of attack defensive player, and a guy that can also hold his own on one-on-one individual matchups and kind of funnel the offensive player into the big man. Because then at that point, Giannis or Brook Lopez, they just got to clean up, right? That's all they're doing. It's another thing when Damian Lillard and Malik Beasley are getting literally blown by, and now Giannis or Brook Lopez are on an island and have to figure out how to, navigate that. It's going to be tough, right? So it's not this perfect, cohesive, that's it, it's locked up. But there was also questions of, would Giannis stick around long term, right? Just because they got Damian Lillard doesn't mean that he won't leave in another year, right? So he's under contract this season, and then next season, that's it. He could say, trade me, get me out of here, right? Or just end up leaving. And the last thing Milwaukee wants is to lose him for nothing. So of course they're going to very likely trade him. Well, it turns out they don't have to. They don't have to worry about that. That cloud has officially gone, dissipated, and it's gone away. Giannis has officially inked a new deal. He is locked up for another 3 years. So basically Giannis' contract lines up with everyone else. Dame, even Middleton, I believe. Brook Lopez is the only one that would expire earlier. Problem is, though, is Milwaukee is tied up to a lot of money between Damian Lillard, Giannis, and Chris Middleton. And if they don't end up winning a championship in the next 2 years, I don't know if they win one. Seriously, because Dame's only going to get older. They're going to be super cap strapped. They're going to have to find the pieces to put the rest of the puzzle to go win an NBA championship. And then on top of that, you're talking about a destination like Milwaukee. It's usually not a place where many people are lining up to go sign to go play in Milwaukee. It is what it is, right? But regardless, Milwaukee doesn't have to worry about Giannis long term, right? They got him locked up. He's good to go. He's under contract for this season and another 4 years counting next season, right? So that's good, right? That is great for them. Giannis, though, however, he would be 34, right, when his contract is up. And if they don't win a championship, he's probably gone. Although there is the concern of at that point, is it too late? What kind of player will he be getting into his, mid to late 30s? That's a real question mark. But what does this impact have, right? What does this do to the Lakers, right? Because this is a Laker channel. So what specifically, how does this affect the Lakers? Well, first off, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into it. So besides hitting that subscribe button, one of the big things was Giannis to the Lakers, right? I mean, it was a good talking point for a couple weeks before the Dame trade and stuff, right? That Giannis makes sense on the Lakers. LeBron, he's going to be leaving very likely, right? And even if he does stay, then you have LeBron, Giannis, and Anthony Davis. The Lakers have some young talent. They have some draft picks at that point. Like, they could maybe put something together, especially if Giannis is really pushing to go to the Lakers. Lakers is a big market. That would really explode his brand, right? Like, there was a real conversation of like, hey, Anthony Davis would be the best player Giannis has ever played with. They'd be by far the best defensive front court we have ever seen. I mean, you're talking about literally two of the greatest defensive players ever. I'm not saying the greatest, but two of the greatest defensive players ever on the same roster. Good luck trying to score on that. And then especially if you have like a Jared Vanderbilt out on the perimeter, again, good luck trying to score on that. But regardless, it made a lot of sense. There was a lot of talk, right? The Lakers very likely are going to be looking to add another star at some point once LeBron leaves. Now, I don't think LeBron leaves after this year. I know some people think like, oh, if the Lakers are terrible or something like that. I don't. The only way I see LeBron leaving is two ways. One, his son, Bronny, he goes and plays with him wherever he ends up. Or the second option is he's ready to retire. And then maybe he goes and signs, those deals that we've seen with players where they go sign with the Cavs real quick and just retire a Cav. It's the only way I really see it. I don't see him leaving to go play for another team for a couple years. I just don't, right? Because it's the Lakers, right, for one. And two, his whole family's there. Everybody's there. Everybody's locked in. Everyone has built their brands and their relationships and, post NBA, especially LeBron. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I knew LeBron was going to the Lakers. I mean, it wasn't solely for basketball reasons, right? It's for life after the NBA. But now that you see that Giannis is off the market, because look, if the Lakers had any chance to get Giannis, they would have positioned themselves. We saw them do it with Kawhi, right? They position them. They always, like, if they believe a star is around the corner, they're going to do whatever they can to put themselves in a position to do so, which means that they run the risk of missing other opportunities. We saw that with the Kawhi situation, for one. Luckily, it still worked out. We got Anthony Davis, who won an NBA championship, but Kawhi was supposed to go to Lakers, right? That was the big thing. Until, Clippers went trade for Paul George, and then, right? But the Lakers missed out on several free agent opportunities, guys that wanted to go to Lakers. Like, you just saw the well starting to dry up, and it was like, okay, well, it's okay because we're going to get Kawhi Leonard, right? The Lakers don't want to do anything. They don't want to mess anything up because they're going to get Kawhi. Kawhi's coming to Lakers. And then, ultimately, he doesn't, and it's like, well, now what? Right? So now we're scrambling, trying to, pick from the bottom of the barrel. And like I said, it ended up working out where you saw, like, this free agency, the Lakers hit a home run because they were able to get all the guys that they wanted immediately. They knew the guys that they wanted to target, and it's the Lakers. Guess what? Those guys want to come here too, especially if they're going to get significant roles, right? Especially if they're going to be a key part of the rotation and of the roster. Right? I mean, you saw everybody, basically most of the top guys that realistically were obtainable, right? Like, like guys like Brook Lopez, it was hopeful that he would come, but, most people knew he wasn't going to leave Milwaukee, like things like that, right? There were guys that you knew, like even Kyrie, it was like, he's not going to turn down the money, right? Like, there was hopefulness, but you knew at the end of the day, like, okay, they're staying. So who are the guys that are the best, that are the most likely? Oh, like a Gabe Vincent, a Taurean Prince. Oh, hey, the Lakers got them. What about somebody like a Jackson? Nah, he's too young. Some team will pay him some money to like be a part of. Stay with the Pelicans. Oh, wait, the Lakers just got Jackson Hayes, right? Cam Reddish. Oh, okay, look, the Lakers just got another sizable wing. Oh, Rui and D'Lo and everybody decided to stay, right? Like, it's just you saw the Lakers be able to build an actual team with depth, talent, versatility, shooting side, like everything that they need to go and win an NBA championship, right? And don't get me wrong, I mean, if you had, like, let's say LeBron sails off to the sunset, and you got Giannis and Anthony Davis, I mean, you're one of, if not the best teams in the league, hands down, right? I mean, without a question. especially if Anthony Davis can continue to knock down the three ball the way we've seen him be able to. Like, without a question, Anthony Davis and Giannis would be the best duo in the league. But, it's like, would that happen? Do the Lakers end up exhausting or missing other opportunities over the next year and a half, 2 years, because they are anxiously waiting for Giannis because they believe Giannis is coming, right? Because all the reports and media and everyone's hyping it out. Giannis is coming. Lakers got to be patient. Now it's now Giannis is gone, right? And there's very likely not going to be another star to his caliber that'll be available in the next year or two, right? Maybe Joel Embiid, but I don't know if we have enough to entice the Sixers for Joel Embiid compared to a Knicks or something like that, unless Joel Embiid just says, I want to be a Laker, right? Where Giannis, it was it's probably just the Knicks and the Lakers, but the Lakers would be in a better position to win an NBA championship. So it's wouldn't Giannis rather go to the Lakers? And it's if he pushes for that, then he's probably going to go to the Lakers, right? Plus history tends to repeat itself, right? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor, it's you go and now you got Giannis. It's usually how things seem to work out, which is funny. Ironically, look at Orlando and centers for the Lakers. Just every couple years, which center is really good for Orlando? He's going to be a Laker. You can count on it. But regardless, I think that this impacts the Lakers in that regard. I also think it impacts the league, which then in return impacts the Lakers, because now there's that disparity, right? If Giannis would have went, what if he went to I don't know, a Warriors or something, something crazy like that. And he did create this super powerhouse team, or what if he went to Oklahoma City with SGA and Chet Holmgren and stuff? It's well, they're the best team in the league for the next 5 years, right? Now it's okay, Giannis is in Milwaukee. Lakers don't have to worry about Milwaukee unless they get to the NBA Finals, right? And now there's not these potential powerhouse teams. There's not powerhouse teams. There's not these super teams that are, just stacking the deck and there's just no way to beat them. We're not getting a Kevin Durant to the Warriors situation, right? This is good. It's good for the league. This is good for the Lakers because now it's okay, they know where they stand. They know where they're at. They know which teams are going to be, because very likely nothing groundbreaking is going to happen in the next few years, right? Like I said, maybe Embiid leaves the Sixers at some point, possibly, but there doesn't really seem to be any inclination. If he was going to leave, he probably would have already been left. But you never know. Things could change. Embiid's probably the only one that you can maybe go, okay, that would be a potential game changer for the league. Outside of that, if Trae Young becomes available, even Luka, right? Depending on where Luka would end up going. But even then, I'm still not sold on Luka being able to play with other stars, right? If you put Luka on the Warriors or something, I don't know how that would work. Because he's just so ball dominant, right? At least right now, to me, I think on the paper, on the surface, from a media standpoint, it would shake up the league. But if he ended up going to OKC or something like that, or he went to the Spurs or something like that, I don't know how good that would be. Yeah, it'd be cool to see him and Victor, but I don't know. But outside of that, it's Giannis was the one guy that could break the league, right, if you went somewhere. Now the Lakers don't have to worry about that. Now the Lakers can focus on just continuing the direction that they're at, because the Lakers would have been primed, ready, and waiting for Giannis. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think that, this is great news, this is good news? What do you think about Giannis staying long-term with Milwaukee? Do you think that they potentially win another NBA championship? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.